This is a question that I really wanted to throw out there. Andrew, you've been criticized most recently by Joe Budden. People like to claim that Andrew Schulz kind of like used hip hop to get his career off the ground and then essentially abandons it. There was a clip of Joe Budden basically saying, did I say Joe Rogan at first?
No, you said
Joe Budden. Joe Budden said basically that
he wants a shout out from me so
you
bad,
were a
bro.
culture vulture and that you use like the Charlemagne cosign to basically get yourself some level of relevance, and now you're doing the flagrant thing, which is not hip hop. Was this ever part of the plan? Were you ever like, this will be a great way to infiltrate the black community?
Shout out to Joe Budden. fuck Andrew Schulz.
Just so you know what side he's on. Yeah.
You got me, Joe. No, I don't think it was an elaborate plan. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
He just mad at you?
Say again?
He just mad at you?
No, I don't know. I don't know what his whole deal is.
You see Andrew, his mouth crooked to the side. It's something.
Yeah,
he don't want to say.
Because he knows he's winning, that he's even getting this kind of commentary from Joe Budden.
You said it.
When you started, this is the thing that confused me about that.
Only one of us talks about each other.
When I saw Brilliant Idiots early on and even now, I mean, to me, it stands out as whether this was explicit or not, that you kind of said, oh, this will be interesting. We could do a podcast that has a black dude who's very much like a big figure in hip hop, and I'm a white guy. My understanding of hip hop is a little bit more limited, but we both have the comedian thing.
I know nothing about hip hop.
Right.
I've never claimed to know anything about hip hop. I grew up in New York City, so like by proxy, the music is part of the culture. But at the same time, like Charlemagne just asked me if I wanted to do a podcast because we would just talk shit for hours on the phone every week, and that's my boy. We didn't really go in it like this will be interesting. That there's like when you grow up in a multicultural place, like race doesn't play as much like in your decision to do a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
like when I'm just going to play pickup with my boys, I'm not going, all right, well, we got an Asian guy and a black guy and an Indian guy, and that will make our team.
Diversity check.
Yeah, like it's just like, yo, this is who's here. Like even with Flagrant, like Flagrant is wildly diverse, but it wasn't like calculated to be that way. Like Akash is my boy. He's Indian. I've been doing it from like, my oldest friend in comedy. Alex was doing all the production and everything for stand-up for me. Mark's white. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, you just bring people in.
Is that why Kaz got the boot?
Yeah, exactly. We filled this black
What
quota.
happened with him?
It didn't work. It wasn't a priority for Kaz.
For the guy with the glasses?
Who's that? Oh, no, that's Alex. That's Alex, yeah.
Okay.
Kaz is fucking killing it, and he was incredibly successful, and he was doing all these other shows, and I was like tripling down on the pod. I was like, this is going to be it. And, I put all this money into this studio, and Kaz was, he had a show with MSG, he had all these other things, and it just wasn't the amount of time that he could dedicate to it. So, but I got love for Kaz, man.
Why did you decide to go from Flagrant 2 to Flagrant? Why did you decide to finally get rid of it?
It wasn't like a sports thing.
Right. Because it started and it was supposed to be primarily about sports?
Yeah,
okay, it's hard to even remember that now.
Yeah, and now it was just like, it's honestly what I want it to be is just the best hang on the internet. So if we want to talk about sports, we talk about sports. If we want to talk about anything. And I also thought the 2 was a little bit confusing because people don't know this a reference for obviously a flagrant foul. Like, I think they're like, is there a flagrant 1?
Yeah.
Like, what else is going on here?
Definitely that had occurred to me a few times.
And also, people call your podcast one word. Well, yours, they kind of they say no jumper, but like, usually it's like you call it Rogan. They were already calling it flagrant. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's usually just one word that describes the podcast.
Right.
So let's simplify it.
I like it.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
You go.
Fuck, how awkward was that situation when y'all had Fresh and Fit on there?
And I didn't want to put the pod out.
Oh, you didn't want to put it out?
I told him, I was like, I don't want to put it out. You guys are gonna look bad. My beef isn't with podcasters. My beef is with like, institutions. Like I like talking shit about politicians. I like talking shit about like institutions. I like talking about big grandiose things that like the only way that you can combat it is with ideology. I'm not really beefing with other podcasts. So I said, yo, you guys are not gonna look good on this. I don't think we should put it out.
Yeah, because
they were like, put it out.
At least you gave him the option, though.
I don't feel like they came off that different on your episode than they do on their show every night.
Maybe, and maybe that's why.
No,
but it's a different crowd, though.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and it's only different when somebody's kind of making you feel a little
Like when he's making you stutter your words, I was like, oh shit. When he was putting out facts, I was like, damn, they kind of look a little dumb right now.
That's the thing. Is like maybe they hadn't, experienced the same type of pushback. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
You also go on a podcast with like dudes that are married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like we're
No,
all
because-
married. Like everybody on the podcast everybody's either married or got a girl. Like so it's like we are a lot of times the opposite ideologically than those guys are. So we can speak about it from like a pretty good perspective. We're like, no, you can have a good relationship where your girl's not trying to like take advantage of you.
Right.
And I just didn't. I basically told them, I was like, I think you guys are operating out of fear a little bit too much. Like, don't be afraid of every woman. Like, there are women who want to be with you and support you and love you.
There's two very different stages in a guy's life, and once you make it out of one stage, it can
Yeah.
be kind of hard to remember the other stage where like you're young or obviously some older guys get into this too, where it's like all your mental energy is going to like, how can I finesse as much pussy as possible? How can I meet as many girls as possible? Then you get in a relationship and that part of your brain just turns off. And that's why when a girl breaks up with you, it can make you feel so fucked up and lost because all of a sudden the part of your brain that's figuring out how to get pussy has to like regenerate and regrow. And it feels so foreign once you've been in a relationship for a while.
Not me. Snap right back.
Yeah, well, you never stop cheating.
Damn. Jesus Christ.